Anda semua. So saya lapangkan masa pada hari ini untuk bertemu semua dengan anda. So actually 1986 tutupkan program ni dengan Masjid Wahyu. Now we start on our own. So di Shah Alam, program EMBA ni kami dah intake yang ke-8. So kalau di Shah Alam ni merupakan satu kelas yang datang. So probably I will ask your new coordinator. Okay. So you notice that means you need these two to further analyze your functional areas. So in fact, strategic management ni is a key subject for the APR. So strategic management is basically a capstone for your paper. It encompasses everything that you have learned in terms of human resource, in terms of finance, in terms of marketing, accounting. So it looks at the whole view of the organization. And this one, strategic management, can be a subject that will help you in preparation for your applied business research. Okay? So kalau misal kata a shortcut way to do your APR for your SM, if you already got good lecture for your SM, he can sort of guide you towards project for your APR. Okay? So your last paper ni is what we call the applied business research. For certain universities, it's a very important paper. Some universities you got to write thesis. Okay? Some universities you have to write you have to sit for an exam, a comprehensive exam that covers the whole topic, or sometimes they give you cases for 4 hours to answer. But for our program, we give you a project where you act like a consultant. Okay? So this is applied business research. That one in 6 months to actually you're learning 3 courses and you follow your IPM punya semester system. Okay, when you want to start with the APR, okay? And then I will give you a general introduction of APR, and then I will just give you not really a thorough when you enter your second year. You are now entering your second year already, right? So when you enter your second year now, you decide the topic. You still in the process of going around and looking and observing what is there in the market. Okay. So for my around this area, there's a lot of industry, SME, SMI, Penang, Kedah, Perlis. You can go as far as Thailand actually. Okay. So in fact, you can go beyond Thailand as well. You have any contacts at Philippines, stuff. So you can start from now. How many of you first batch? 15. I'm sure you can do it. Okay? Because this means this course integrates all your previous courses. Then you are 12 courses, and probably you learn a lot of tools from these courses. When you did your accounting, for example, you learn ABC. Okay? Probably you learn many other tools. When you studied marketing, what are the tools that you learn? Apa model yang you belajar masa you buat you punya marketing? Itu yang call rebranding. Lagi apa? And then what you do is you use this knowledge into your APR. So here you're working in a group. Okay? So basically you identify the problem, you look at the issues, you analyze and you synthesize using all the required knowledge and tools, and then at the end of the day you have to convince your panel of examiners. But actually you work closely with your academic advisor. Okay? When you do consulting services, you not only do provide solution to companies' problem, but you also develop networking. So this course not only confined to the private sector, so small and medium industries, you can also do with the government. If you work with the government agencies such as Pharma, Barista, ataupun kat Kedah dia apa? Kedah, whatever it is. No, it's not confined to SME ke SMI. Okay? And then here, while doing that, you develop a lot of skills, and basically nanti skills pun ada lagi di side foundation skills, and then both verbal and written And then you also develop a lot of interpersonal skills with your host. We did post-Malaysia run 4 or 5 projects from Masya Allah. And the last project, the CEO of Post Malaysia came and he would like the ABC system being implemented in Post Malaysia. Okay? So that kind of synergy that we get from our ABR project. Some of them I have what they call Padunet. Okay, Padunet too, they want to rebrand their product. The student came out with a good project and they managed to convince Padunet to come up with rebranding of their product. They all came and said, we have a lot of, inshallah, this is my experience, inshallah, from Ben Muammar and a few other organizations. Okay. Sometimes students have got to extend the project because of information. Because some companies, they are not willing to expand or improve the business potential of the host organization. And then probably if they want to have any additional consultation that is beyond our scope, I'm further emphasize on what we call network development, because I think so for our MBA students, they only not networking within you all, because you all came in with diverse background, you know. You come in, you develop a lot of networking, okay? And with ABR, you further develop networking, okay? But from this course, because every course has got its objectives. For this course, the 4 competencies that can be derived is competent in seeking information. Information is not only from the company, no. Information from the internet, your primary source, your secondary source, you must be able to you develop that skill later. And then not only information, you must be kaki, you know. So those kind of mentality actually disrupt the whole group effectiveness. Now, as I told you can form a group now. Okay? And you can form a group now. Since you have 50, you have 5 groups, kan? That's very nice. So, and I hope yang group yang you form to fund the group tu, it must consist of diverse background. Kalau you ada satu buat accounting, marketing atau HRM, I don't know, satu group tu daripada finance, satu group. So you have a diverse knowledge. So for those who have not done research before, probably you are helping our local, potential business to probably expand the business. Now the groups, jangan yang satu tak agree. Okay, so everybody must agree to the topic. And later then, you don't worry. They will choose advisors that they are familiar with. Okay, lecturers that come in and teach the program. Okay, or you can choose advisor yang you are familiar with. For example, in Kedah, I'm sure you have a lot of business lecturers that probably do not teach the program, but can lead you to do research. And you can also choose lecturers from Shah Alam, because now with technology, you can contact your advisors easily through email, through handphone, through internet. Okay? And choose your advisor which is similar to your topic. Okay, don't choose an accounting lecturer and you're doing marketing topic. So it doesn't rhyme. Probably he cannot even advise you. So if you do marketing, at least choose a marketing lecturer. Okay? I have here a list of lecturers. Your topic and punya objective and everything, and then you pass it to your MBA coordinator. The purpose of submission to your MBA is of writing and finalizing the report. And probably nanti your coordinator will give you a deadline, either in your Viva and everything. In fact, this coming, you can. The nearest place that they can go is they will look at how you answer the question and batul the dalam they are very, very, what they call it, strict about that. If the student did not come to them, they say bye-bye. So sometimes I, as a coordinator, normally we love the student more than lecturers as a coordinator. Because we 70%. 30% comes from the examiner. The examiner who will examine your presentation mistake. Dia ada nanti, I will give you everything. Dia ada dia punya criteria ni, what to expect. Okay. It happens sometimes, but most of the time it doesn't happen. They actually, the what they call the initial agreement was they're able to go over to the factory. She did was on compensation for Lotus workers in UK. But final what they call event happened that these students cannot enter the factory. So as a result, the information that they got was not what they call it, was not complete. Athens Campus, you notice ABR, their project is a bit different. Students go to Africa to study the business climate, especially on international business. Okay, business culture, other culture, hotel, Hilton, Hilton bangsa. And a lot of outsiders that came because I told you she was doing on ABC project for Post Nation. And some of the audience are non-Malays, and they were impressed with the student. Okay? So this one you can do it. The sample topics, it can be management accounting, it can be financial management, it can be also others. Some of them do on IT, MIS yang Datin ajar ni. Some of you can do topic on that. Okay? This one I will show you the sample of the engineering, the agro forestry park in Inshallah. So it could be a combination of many, or it could be the whole thing. It could be the 6 final areas, or it could be just marketing management. It just could be the ABC, just be accounting. Okay, but how you go about doing the approach? Because you have to think in terms of strategic thinking. That's very important. This is what I'm doing as I told you. There is marketing, there is also strategic management. Because it involves the whole company punya, what they call it, vision, mission and everything. Okay, so for ABR ni, I want to remind you, it's not a thesis. Don't do sampai level PhD. It should be simple and interesting. Jangan buat macam thesis untuk buat PhD dengan literature review, dengan past research, come out with a model and everything. That is not required for ABR. Okay? So know that it's so simple like. So it's also not a mini report. Okay, so probably I can say it's a case study in your approach. Because you have to go to a company, see the company problem, and you have to come up with a solution. Because after 12 courses, I want to remind you working in a group. Okay? I do not want last minute until one of the group members say I decided to go to another group because that group is doing the best. This can only be done in consultation with your academic advisor and coordinator. So before your 2 step 2, that means the bulk of your marks come from your academic advisor. Your academic advisor plays a very important role actually. Definitely you all play a bigger role in your academic advisor because you all are master student kan. I'm sure you do not need a lot of spoon fed from the academic advisor. You know what case last night in Perak where I have to do re-Viva because they tak meet the expectation. Okay, I have insyaAllah yang dibikin 2 weeks tu betulkan balik dia. So I read this time around because my philosophy of Viva is different from my new coordinator. Last time my philosophy of a Viva was the examiners are able to understand what you speak during those 20 to half an hour of presentation. the examiners are not even stick books to read. But Dr. Nur Aini said to me, I know, I live in Johor because people got different view of things. She said you have to give to the examiners 2 weeks before the Viva, so that the examiners can read. But personally, inshallah, when you have 30 groups and you have limited access to examine, some of these examiners don't read. So that's why I leave it to the final Viva. So inshallah, the Kedah mungkin we have very few groups. Probably the examiners can read. Then not only we read this one, we have so many other projects. Undergrad lah, PhD lah. How can you take company in your project and you get chopped? It's difficult. You cannot even defend the thing. You do not know what's going on. So it's really, some projects are really fresh projects or continuation. As I told you, Post Malaysia, each group what a different topic. Some buat human resource, some buat on ABC, some buat on finance, some buat on marketing. So you cannot copy or duplicate. Unlike kalau academic first degree probably, but this one no, because it's a case. Okay, and you'll be surprised. There's so many companies in Malaysia, kan? And each state has got its own SME, SMI. Probably unique to that state. Macam if you go to Terengganu, Kelantan, they have their own companies that they can look at. Okay. Kedah lagi, you know, you will be the first group of people that will come out and go to the SME, SMI, they will grab you, you know, they are willing to take you as a consultant. You have a lot of opportunity there. Program ni, normally we would like those with PhD to teach because you all master's program, so those with PhD to teach will be appropriate lah. But those with Professor Matia also is equally good. Those who have been serving ITM for so long and who have done a lot of research on their own. We have a lot of PM who is equally good or better than those who have PhD actually. So we choose we choose those Professor Matia who is good, you know, and teach. And so far I have a few, like Professor Matia Aicha, you know PJ Aicha. Dia belajar economics, probably dia tak ajar dekat Kedah. He is only a professor Matia. He has gone through the process of doing PhD, but you know, sometimes PhD needs a lot of luck kan. Sometimes you're just not lucky at the end of the day, you don't get your PhD, you know. But there are people with Professor Matia who has gone through a PhD program and didn't get the degree. They can teach actually, because they have gone through the process of being a PhD. So far, kat Kedah, so far, all PhDs yang belajar, those 6 courses. Yes. So alhamdulillah, you are very lucky. So doesn't mean PhD pun bagus, you know. Ada Profesor Kuasa dia tak ada PhD, but he is a professor. Professor Diraja, the only one in Malaysia pun. Okay. So but this Professor Matia, okay, with a good Professor Matia lah, with an experienced Professor Matia. Professor Matia ni pun at least they have gone through 20 years of teaching, you know, to reach that stage. Okay. Ni, yes, procedure ke, new methods ke, macam ABC is a new method lah, which they learn. Bukan that new method datang daripada idea ni. Mungkin that one kita boleh pass dia sebagai PhD student dan not buat MBA. Improvement, yes. Conclusion lah. In your conclusion of your project, improvement, recommendation, new procedures, new methodology, kan? Problem, what you call it, analysis too. Yes. Do it now, you know that to open up a business. You know, he wants to do something like, actually to me he's selling a concept. He wants to open up House of Bananas. Macam kita, apa tu, and he wants to penetrate Shah Alam's campus. That is selling bananas. Yes, you can do it. Business feasibility study.
Master, whatever is the method, it's actually not need to be what we call on policy side.
So it is something that can be done. It's not something yang what they call it, it's a real issue that you want to solve. I do not want you to come with an idea, with an issue, but you cannot solve at the end of the day. No. This is something that can be applied, can be used, and later on companies can use them. Okay. It's not something like macam PhD level can be ideas, you know. But this is already an applied. Something that you've learned, you use the tools and you apply it to a real problem that you can solve using the tools that you've learned. And this is the gist of the program. Companies, right? Now, companies normally it involves around, this is what the functional areas that you have studied, the 6 courses. It involves management, human resource, information system, marketing, finance, manufacturing, and R&D. So these are the areas. This is a typical marketing from a marketing book. Okay? And then here you're talking about other organizations. Okay, you're talking about society, talking about suppliers, talking about relationship with customers, and all these areas. You can look at all those areas, or you can look at specific areas. Okay. For example, you can just do on marketing, okay? You can just do on finance. You can also do on manufacturing. This basically comes under OM, operational management. Okay? And then you can do on human resource. You notice the last presentation that I did this morning, there are not so many people that do on HR. So I would welcome all of you to do on HR. I do not know why, but the interest is not that exciting among the MBA students. But among my MBA students, there are cases where they do on HR. For example, they do a lot of extensive work, you know. That's why probably it's not popular among the MBA students. Okay? And then information system. There are also cases where students look at the MIS system of a company. Normally when I present APR, I always go with another professor, a very senior person by the name of Dr. Wan Kazania. She's somebody you know here. He was a decan, left UiTM when he was about 40. He went to the industry and now he's back. So we normally go together, but since he had just a bypass, you know, recently, so he was using tongkat, so I told him not to want. In fact, I wanted to come in, but I'm not going to give you in detail. I'm going to be scanning few slides, because if I were to go into detail, it takes you a long time. And at the same time, I'm going to give you samples, the best samples of ADP, and some, I shouldn't say it's a not good sample. It's probably the way they present wasn't that good. Okay? All to me, everybody that does APR, especially among my MBAs, my MBA students are the best. Okay? So normally when you do research, normally if you do a case study research, normally you always start with what basically a need there that probably can create a problem. You're talking about business need, normally you're talking about, normally it's competitive in nature. You're trying to be better than competitors. Or you're looking at restructuring of the organization, you're looking at mass, you know, I have a good case here for mass, tapi I have mass and then it could be financial problem, you know, or it could be the operational problem. Okay? And this probably can lead to problem that probably you can talk to them, or they can relate to you, or probably you can observe and find out there's a problem there. And normally, you look at the middle diagram, it's based on sometimes intuition, or it can be based on real data. Data that shows that sales is not improving as years goes by. You know, that's what happened to Maskan. They have been making losses ever since tahun bila lah. Okay, so and what we do is normally you manage. Here we're talking about managing, we're talking about team, you know. Or for here for our ABR, it could be a team of 3 people that come up with analyzing it, you know, framing it into what I say as our theoretical framework in our academic construct. You know, in academia, we have to come up with a theoretical framework. Okay. To me here, probably we're talking about theoretical framework. You do that at undergrad level, but probably you don't realize it in your topic. But here, my advice is you have to come up with your theoretical framework. The way you approach the research, basically. If you do your PhD, for example, your theoretical framework probably can come out from your literature review. You study past research that people have done, and then you come out with your framework, or you can adapt. Can you tengok this example? There is a theoretical framework, but it's adapted from a book. Implementation part is where I tell you is your conclusion and your recommendation. Okay. So here we're talking about strategy because it involves the leaders themselves of the organization. It involves the mission, the vision. So whatever you want to implement, you must know what is the vision of the company, what is the mission. Sometimes you can say many things, but at the end of the day, if it's not in line with the vision or the mission of the company, you cannot do based on whatever research that you do. So be careful with that part. So basically, this is what we call you thinking in terms of strategically for the company. It could be 2 years, it could be 3 years. I think we're talking about strategy, talking about long-term planning. Okay? So this is the part actually which is very difficult to do, and the analyzing part is the framing part. Sometimes when I advise students, I said, can you think of your theoretical framework, how you go about, in simple terms, how you go about doing research. It takes them time to think about it. In fact, when I did my PhD, that's the time when I want to give up actually. It takes me about 6 to 1 year to think of how to formulate the theoretical framework. You know, I said that's it. Okay? It allows you to think deeply of what is your orientation, okay? And that's where I think so is the difficult part of it. So here, this is an example of a typical, what they call it, company called ACME. And this is what I said, when talking about organization, you always talk in terms of revenue and expenses. Okay. So you're looking at example here. Probably they have what they call 3 products, but at the end of the day, you always look at revenue and expenses. And normally, when talking about problem, you derive issues first. Okay, so issues can be the main issue, or it can be all the various sub-issues. Okay. Here, I think so when you learn even marketing ataupun subject decision tree, apa itu manager decision analysis nanti you learn this. Okay. And this is some of the things that I want you to develop after at least after you've done your AGM. You have to come up with your thinking, you know. So thinking in terms of your cognitive activities, your cognitive maps, and also your cognitive abilities. It's rather superficial, I should say. Okay. So normally when you do your research, you go through what we call a process. Okay. And you always start with identifying what actually is the problem, and then you try to diagnose in terms of analyzing and reflecting. Still, that process is still defining. And defining it takes time. That's why I'm telling you, you have to start now. Okay? And then only you come up with conceiving, and then you implement. So this basically, and this process is very iterative. In other words, it goes on and on. Sometimes after at the end of the day, so you do not know whether you have already solved the company's problem or not. You know, because it keeps on going. You know, it doesn't stop. You solve, it stops. No, keep on going. Okay. So I do not want you to think too deeply, do it within that period, okay? If it's 2 months, 3 months, okay? If you go beyond that, you can never produce that book, okay? And this is what we want at the end of the day. It's not the mechanical system thinking, it's not based on intuition, but it's based on strategic thinking. If you look at the process at the end of the day, you get a better, what they call solution rather than those two solutions. Okay? This is what I'm giving you a lot of marketing examples, and this is what I just told you this morning. Okay? And then this is basically the functional level strategy, and this is what you have learned actually in class, and that's where you apply. And you notice when it comes to anything, any strategic framework, it involves SWOT. Have you learned SWOT as a tool in your marketing class? You have learned, you have identified what are the external factors, which includes the strength and weaknesses, what are the internal those are internal factors, the external factors. And have you come up with beyond SWOT, what we call it the TOS analysis? Because these are some of the tools that you need to learn. TOS. Dia dah develop macam TOS analysis tak? No. Never mind, you can learn on your own. Normally, when you do anything in terms of strategic analytics, marketing, finance, or looking at organization, normally you go through this process. You're looking at the situation analysis, you're looking at PESTEL, and then you're looking at problems, that's where you want to solve. And then you're looking here, you're looking at the marketing objective. Okay? And then you look at the budget and marketing program evaluation, and probably it goes back to your vision, mission, and everything that you mentioned. So it's a very, what they call it, huge scope there, okay? And here, another tools that you should learn in marketing is what we call gap analysis. Have you done gap analysis? No. So gap here referring to any gaps that is inherent, okay, in the company in terms of how to close those gaps, okay? And this is another model that probably you should learn. The NSOF model. Do I recall you all learned the NSOF model? Because in anything you do in the market, there must be a product and there's a market. Okay? So here we're talking about NSOF model, we're talking about product is very limited. So here for our marketing, what do you call the textbook use? Carryman. You use, we're talking about product, we're talking about what are the offerings of the company. Okay, good services. That's why this model is a very popular model. In fact, the word product should be like offering metrics. Offering, and then we're talking about markets. This is what I'm trying to tell you. These are some of the examples of the tools that you can apply in your research project. Okay, so if the product falls at the market development, what are the strategies that the company should do? Okay? If the product falls under market penetration, what are the strategies? These are important for you in your recommendation. I'm going very fast because I think this is not really important first. Okay. Do you all get an idea what is research all about, the new process? If you do not, let me know. I think so.
And straight on the it's all the rich kids will play golf.
The M&M's bug broke down.
Play golf, but then when they ran the cruise, Marcus was out there and they opened the cruise.
Stop. Tengok. Because you want to play bad at golf, you know?